Hello everyone, I hope you're having a wonderful day. Today we have a War of Brothers campaign for you. If you are playing in the match and you streamed your perspective on Twitch or you uploaded your VOD on YouTube, whatever, give me a link, whether it be a message through Discord or put a comment with your video link there, and I'll put the link to that in the pinned comment of the video. Anyways, for our War of Brothers campaign, new season started up, so we're back at this event. Sunday Night Fights was fun to watch the past couple of weeks, but now we're back with the bigger event. So our first round is going to be the framing fences, followed up by the Wheatfields. Before we get into this, thank you to our YouTube members for the support. If you'd like to support, go beneath the video and hit the join button. By doing so, you can get a live stream of all the broadcasts we do. You can advertise your regiment in the bottom of our videos and get an additional broadcast per week. So our regiments for today, on the CSA side, you have the Kentucky Outlaws, 14th Tennessee, 6th Arkansas, 7th South Carolina, Pennsylvania, Army of Northern Virginia, 1st North Carolina Sharpshooters, 7th Louisiana, 20th Georgia, Texas Guards, 8th Connecticut, and the 1st Ohio, whereas on the Union side, you have the 11th Pennsylvania, Midwest Brigade, 65th Illinois, 3rd United States Horse Artillery, 10th United States, New York Volunteers, 1st Maryland, and the 5th New Hampshire. We'll say 5th Corps is split up, 8th Connecticut, and 1st Ohio on CSA side. It's kind of nice to see that. 5th Corps always blobs up, and they win a lot, so I'll be intrigued to see how it plays out when they're separated. Server pop for tonight, it's 286, Union's up by now 5. Artillery-wise, Union has 13, CSA has 13, so our infantry and balance is 5 in favor of the Union side. Frontline reporters today to show you what's going on the ground while we see the fighting in the sky. On the Union side, you have Zach from the Midwest Brigade, and then on the CSA side, you've got Canada from the 20th Georgia. He's a part of the skirmishers, which is why he's dead right now. And appreciate these guys so we can see what's going on the ground while also seeing what is going on in the sky. So, speaking of that, the rules for this event are as follows. Skirmishers, which are the people that are fighting over the B point here, they can move out at 45 and start capturing points at the 42-minute mark. Once the 42-minute mark is hit, they can capture points. But more importantly, the rest of the infantry for both teams can start moving out at the quick time until the 40-minute mark. Once the 40-minute mark is hit, like it was a moment ago, everyone can start moving out and the double quick and sprinting. So that's the gist of this event. Co-commentating with me tonight, we have Colt. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hey, it's Colt from Eagle Brigade. Good to have you.
Yeah. And we're glad that you're here. We've been trying to do this for a while and could never really work out, but glad we were able to find the time tonight. So, in your opinion, how does each side or one of the sides want to play this conquest map of framing fence lines?
I was going to say take the enemy arty and for Union and just disable those guns on that hill and then go for B. But, I mean, 65th with a great play right here. Just pushing that point when Artie was just slamming it. Good shots by Artie, by the way, on B. And they just managed to take the point on B and make a great play on it. So I think 65th did a really good job there. And I think as Union, you just push up to that second snake fence, dominate the match on B, and just hold it. I would send skirmishers up to try and take out the Artie as much as possible. And disable those guns, but I think Union has started off really well. We'll see what CSA does here.
Yeah, more arty shots raining down on the B point. For those of you who don't know how conquest works, you can see there's 3 flagpoles on the map. The A, B, C point. If you capture a majority, you start dealing a ticket drain on your opponent. Flags do cancel out, so Union's dealing 1 flagpole worth on the CSA right now. So. 1st Maryland assist up with the 65th Illinois. You got NYV here as well for Union. TKO and 7th LA dive bomb the point and have started decapping that flag on point. And I mean, CSA's on point. A lot of Union are nearby. Meanwhile, more CSA reinforcements rolling up in PA and V and 8th Connecticut.
Yeah, if I was Union here, I would just shoot at the point, let them decap it, let Artie blast them away, try and take control of the lane.
I misclicked.
And just have them clump up all together where it's right for Artie, and then go ahead and charge him out and take point. I think they're making the right call, kind of playing a bit more passive here, and just letting Artie do work, which we can see the Artie is just going in. And now, 1st Maryland is charging them out. If the Union needs to push up here, every one of these units needs to push up. NYV going in too. MWV probably needs to push up too. Yep, they're going in. We do have a wipe on the right side, so hopefully Union recognizes that and gets that flag up. Good job, Zach. and just take this point on B right here.
Yeah, and that charge there from Union, pretty effective, getting 3 CSA flags down right now, which for this mode is pretty big. Those flags let you spawn wherever the flag is for your company. If they're down, that means you have to spawn at main, and for these huge maps, that's a blow. CSA spawn, it's all the way to the east side of the map. There's only a couple people there right now. A lot more just spawned in, though. Meanwhile, CSA spawning at main, you have Union, who's all spawning on their flags on point. So Union quickly taking that B point back.
If I was Union, I would try and divert two companies on the lane and then 2 companies in the corn and push this group of 8th Connecticut out right here. They're really doing a lot of damage on their side, and they have really good shots right now. Plus, Artie's hitting you. Union might get pushed out here, despite, and CSA might pick up their flags, despite winning that initial fight. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I'm surprised to see Union pulled back a little bit off of the point, probably to hide from Artie, which actually has been pretty well tonight so far. But as you just mentioned, yeah, CSA just running back up, and they should get all their flags. They haven't picked up one of them yet.
Yeah, I think Union kind of blundered a little bit by kind of pulling back and letting their friendlies get hit by Artie. I think they needed to kind of push forward a little bit and push that company out together rather than sit and get hit by Artie. That's just my opinion, but we'll see what goes on here. Artie's been doing great for Union, though. I've been watching these shots, and oh my god,
they just have to hit one spot, and they're hitting it. Both sides are. That's a heck of a way to start a conquest match. My goodness.
Yeah, nice job, 3rd Usha and 4th US. I mean, great shots. Good job, guys.
So Union has numbers in the lane right now. They're slowly starting to push back towards the B point, seeing as the CSA side retook it. And Union should have no issue pushing in if they just charge.
Yeah, great job by 8th Connecticut. Really like pushing up and being aggressive, even though they were just one company.
Oh my goodness.
They did a tremendous amount of work.
First
kind of going in. Oh, first Maryland going into 8th Connecticut.
8th Connecticut was not expecting that.
But they're not going to go for the flags. That's the unfortunate part. They're not going to get those flags.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing in these modes. I mean, oh my, CSA gets a nice shot there, but
two flags are down for CSA though, so I mean they did do some work.
Union lost.
Just
oh my goodness, they lost the A point. 14.
The flags are just lost in the corn, so I mean they just gotta pick them up. We'll see.
Yeah, CSA's up 2 flags. 3-14 Tennessee guys got the decap at A, so we'll see how many Union guys pull off here. Sometimes when you see a decap in the save point of one team, they might overreact and send a lot of guys back trying to get that point, because these officers in this event, they don't have a Steam chat. They got to communicate by talking to each other in-game or by sending runners, and so people might overreact. Luckily for Union, I guess, is that their whole team is kind of together. They have sent one group back to get that point, being First Maryland, and they'll be able to get that back up soon. But that was huge. CSA was up 2 flagpoles, dealing 2 flagpoles worth on the Union for a minute. Now they're dealing 1 flagpole worth. So
yeah, I mean, First Maryland going and taking the initiative to take A, you know, that's good to recapture. But preferably I'd send skirmishers, just send like a flag with them to go decap or to go recapture A. I mean, great play by CSA decapping it, but I think First Maryland might be too much because they're one of the bigger regiments, and they have a lot of sway over the battlefield. So,
do agree with that.
B's definitely hurting right now. Right now it's decapped, which is good, but CSA has all their flags up. They're getting respawns in, and they have a very dominant control over the lane. Just naturally with Artie being on that hilltop, so we'll see what happens.
And that's the crazy thing too, is Union has wiped CSA flags twice at this point, but yet they just back off and let CSA get the flags again. This CSA really shouldn't be winning this match right now. I mean, they're up by a fourth of a stage. They shouldn't be.
You got to camp those flags. That's the biggest thing, and it's hard to do that in corn. But camping flags is like crucial to winning matches, because it takes 5 minutes for those flags to respawn, and in those 5 minutes, any casualty you take, they can't just respawn. They have to reorganize with their regiments, and it's just a pain in the ass. I mean,
get that flag up.
It really does knock down organization. and tactical importance.
So Union get the A point back, stopping the ticket drain that they were getting from CSA having the 1 point advantage there.
Yeah, if I was Union right now, I would collapse in on this. I wouldn't let them get the capture, or I would push it immediately, because right now they're going to back off and just camp B, and I think you lose if that happens. I mean, they're just going to camp it out.
Union's been playing so well, but they can never finish. Man, TKO is trying to get Union on their own.
Yeah, either that or send a unit to go decap C, but I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah, in my opinion, the way you play Conquest is you keep a small group defending your safe point, you send a small group to decap your opponent's safe point, and then you keep everyone else fighting over that middle point, which CSA has really done a good job of that so far. They're maybe not keeping a whole lot of guys at C, but they at least have some guys blocking that, which up to the northeast, you have Midwest Brigade going up to where 7th LA is actually getting some pretty good shots on 7th LA.
You also have to consider the arty importance and stuff like that. Arty on the CSA side, while it's on a hill and very advantageous, it's also very exposed right now. There's no CSA units on it, so you take a group of 10 to 15 soldiers and just camp out the arty. You disable those guns. Now their tactical importance on B is in jeopardy. I mean, they really can't defend B without arty. Because they'll just get shot out.
8th Connecticut... Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to say that 8th Connecticut was in the corn, and they just hit behind the Union and dealt a lot of damage, and they just left. And it looks like they're going to go try to decap A. 8th Connecticut, one thing I've noticed is they're very good at just sneaking through enemy lines. Even if they bring a large amount, they'll just walk right through enemy lines, and the enemy just seems to not care about them or just not notice them, and then they always hit from behind. They're like a hobbit. It's really funny. And
yeah, 8th Connecticut's great at flanking the enemy with a really large force. They're really good at concealing themselves and kind of being aware of enemy positions and where they're at. So we'll see what 8th Connecticut does right here, but I think they've been carrying this match so far.
They gotta go and decap A, you would think. Which, actually, there is 3 guys going to the A point, so CSA is going to get a decap at A again. However, Union's going to decap B. And actually, Union has 3 or 4 guys at C. 88th New York, or NYV guys, are there. They're going to get a decap there. Man, all the flagpoles.
8th Connecticut is going to get A over here. There's not a lot of people defending A. And, yeah, I mean, A is being decapped by 8th Connecticut and 14th Tennessee right now. That's not good.
I think they were trying to team kill.
C has also been decapped by Union. That's good, but CSA has a regiment over there. But we'll see how that goes.
No one has any points.
That's funny. Alright, let's see if Union wins B control over here. They've been getting shot down on point really badly.
And there's another flanking charge from TKO. They get a flag.
CSA surprisingly doesn't have a lot of units on B. A lot of their units are on A or C right now, so they're kind of spread out. So maybe Uni can take advantage of that. But we'll see.
Yeah, the issue for Union is, I mean, Union's got to send someone back to get that A point. CSA is already retaking their save point. Man, CSA's been really playing good the past couple... I mean, CSA's had a pretty good round overall. Kind of got bailed out by Union not defending their down flags early on so they could get them back, but man.
Yeah, I think Union started off great, but as the match progressed, they just kind of lost their footing, and I think right now you can very much predict that CSA is going to win the match.
Union's got to pull it back. If anything, CSA's nearly surrounded the B point, and now you got 8th Connecticut going in behind the Union again. And they're going to hit the Union guys right near the B point.
What's tough about getting stuck like this when you're losing on Conquest is you really can't group up and game plan. You just kind of snowball into losing because the organization just kind of falls apart. So we'll see what happens, but
At least it's better than contention.
Yeah, at least it's better contention. That's true. RNG. RNG, baby.
And if you win that first point, you're probably going to win the rest of the game.
Oh, the first point is on top of a hill next to CSA spawn. Oh joy.
I don't know why they thought contention was a good idea. But, oh well. We need brigade mode, dang it.
Yep.
Man, CSA is almost up 3/4 of a morale stage. They have C point. They're taking B. Union is about to get the A point. Man, and this is exactly why if you get your opponent's flags down, you need to keep them down, because CSA picked them back up in 2 different instances and are now back into the game and winning by a lot. This is fully kind of on Union's fault for losing this, at least so far, losing this game. But man, this has been a hectic conquest round. No,
Yeah,
action
definitely.
has not stopped. I feel like sometimes everyone can kind of get still in these modes, especially if groups get wiped, but no one's ever fully getting wiped. And when they are, they're not defending the flag, so...
Yeah, definitely frustrating to see how disorganized Union is right now. I think they're getting grouped up, getting ready to blob, but separate units are kind of doing their own thing right now, so we'll see how that goes.
Okay, Connecticut's charging through again. The Union were trying to reform in the corn, and they just wiped down 2 Union flags.
Yep, great job by 8th Connecticut spotting that.
You would think that either of these sides would just be like, alright, 5th Corps has been very good at blobbing up and charging, so maybe we should try a similar thing. But I don't know why Union's not doing that. Or I don't know. They kind of have been. CSA's just kind of outplaying them. What the heck? And now 8th Connecticut's going to the A point. What a round.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, great start by Union, but I mean, CSA just picked it back up, organized quickly, and managed to retake B, just slowly winning over that lane and using their RD advantage against the Union.
So 8th Connecticut dive bombing to the A point with a flag, by the way. Midwest Brigade went to the center where those down 2 Union flags were and picked it back up. If 8th Connecticut captures this point, we'll get a counterattack. Union flag is sitting by A. I don't think they were expecting CSA.
Yeah, I mean, this is just a numbers game on A. We'll see how this plays out, but Artie's going to get into the melee of it, which, I mean, you kind of have to defend A properly, but yeah, I just don't think it's going to be enough. I mean, 8th Connecticut just has so many guys that they can just blob up and push. We do have another regiment coming in, 65th and 11th PA, coming in to reinforce. I think they need to get on A to stop this decap, but I don't think they have enough numbers. 8th Connecticut is just too large.
So, if 8th Connecticut gets the decap and then captures the point, we'll see what they do. If they capture it, a counterattack will begin. CSA will be doing 3 flagpoles worth of damage on the Union side, which is a lot. You can lose like a morale stage within a couple of minutes if you let it go. But a 3-minute counterattack will start, and then the team that doesn't have any of the points will have 3 minutes to neutralize 2 points or capture 1 point, and that stops the counterattack. But it looks like the Union artillery and the few Union groups here will eventually push 8th Connecticut off, and they're going to try to pursue them. So
yeah, great play by 65th, and then I think 11th PA retaking that point, kind of grouping up, shooting him down when they're exposed on point, and retaking A. I think Union is kind of overcommitting. I don't know if NYV got wiped or something, but I think they're overcommitting to the A point.
Meanwhile, at the B point, Midwest Brigade's pushing up, just kind of getting into a shootout. They're not going to be able to do a whole lot, though. Is Union having... Oh, yeah, Union has a flag. All right, so Union will get that back, but they're still losing tickets to flags.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, it's kind of Jover with the morale state and stuff like that. Being down a whole morale state on Conquest, never fun. And they're at taking losses right now, so...
Yeah,
we'll see how it goes.
Union's got to play a perfect game. They can definitely do it, but yeah, I agree. It's very low to.
I think the best case scenario, you get a draw by getting them to breaking, while also being at breaking, and not going into last stand. I think that's your best case scenario right there. Which I don't even know if that's a win.
What? So
according to the rules.
Rules of campaign or rules of war rights?
Campaign.
Got some charging in the middle of the corn here. TKO's going at 1st Maryland and Midwest Brigade, and TKO gets wiped again. TKO's just going crazy. They're just charging at will.
That's what TKO is great at. They're just great at charging people out and just getting in their face.
We'll know.
The 10th US is gonna get in there, reinforce, but
5th New Hampshire has 4 guys for Union that are going near the sea point. You have a couple of CSA guys in the house there, so they'll maybe be able to stop it. But yeah, the thing with Conquest is that there can never really be a break. Like every second, Union's losing tickets here, and the flag is going to deal more damage than a charge, shootout, anything. The flags are just going to deal more damage. So you always have to be moving to try to get a flag advantage. And so Union can't sit all around for a whole lot of time. Now, obviously, they need to reform, right? You need numbers advantage. You got to play well, but you also can't dilly-dally. So it's a hard balance to play, but Union is running out of time right now. They don't have that much longer before it's too big to come back.
Yeah, I mean, definitely bouncing off of what you said. You need to be very fluid with your movements and with reinforcing and, you know, pushing objectives. You kind of have to rely on your friendlies to cooperate with you and push objectives that you need to push strategically. And right now, you know, you're just losing really bad strategically. So you'd like to maybe go for a Hail Mary play, take B, and then go for C, and get all three objectives to try and win. I mean, I don't think you're going to win on morale state, so I think you got to go for kind of a Hail Mary play.
If Connecticut's charging in the corn again on Union, Midwest, and 1st Maryland. Some 10th US guys here as well. And 8th Connecticut with numbers. Gets a wipe.
That's a great job by 8th Connecticut, just kind of blobbing up and charging out the corn. I mean, bigger regiments do have that advantage of, you know, you can just throw numbers at them and they'll most likely get wiped. Because, you know, you're reliant on, as a smaller regiment, with other regiments cooperating with you and having your back, which can be hard without, you know, team chat.
Right.
So
that's why if you look at a chord sheet and you see one side have less regiments, you'll probably think they'll do better, obviously depending on what the map is. But
yeah, just organizationally, very important. But skirmishers, you know, they can do a lot of good work, like 65th at the beginning of the round, playing that point. Just depends.
You got Union pushing up on the far left side of this bloody lane, which they're engaging some CSA 1st North Carolina and some 7th LA guys, 14th Tennessee as well, with engaging the Union NYV forces. And 65th, which Union do win that, so it's a start. They don't get a flag, but I didn't look behind them where 8th Connecticut just rolled up and they're popping shots.
Yeah, 8th Connecticut is just rolling up behind them, kind of trolling them from behind, doing a great job of that. And looks like NYV is kind of in disarray almost. We'll see what happens, but it's not looking too great.
5th New Hampshire got the decap at C for Union. That's, I mean, they won't be able to cap it. They stopped the bleeding, but they're down 1.5 morale stages at this point.
Yeah, I mean, it's like putting a Band-Aid on a bullet wound. I mean, I don't know how much it's going to help.
Right.
We'll see. TKO, surprisingly not reinforcing 8th Connecticut here. I think they're probably going to try and play B and make sure Union doesn't decap it, which I think is the right play, actually, now that I'm seeing that the Union team is moving towards B.
Indeed, Union dropped the braking. AIN is going to try to hold.
Yeah, 8th Connecticut has established control over the lane. NYV's flag is down. 8's job.
On that side, perhaps, but Union's starting to push through on the other side. They get a CSA flag down and are on top of the point right now.
Yeah, 1st Maryland doing a great job of wiping that company. Union blobbing up, and it's working out pretty well. TKO is a little late to the party, so we'll see how this goes. but Artie still exists, so we'll see a couple splashes, I'm sure. We'll see though.
Yeah, and I mean, even if Union gets a flag advantage at this point,
Oh, Artie hits their own guys.
I mean,
Lovely.
CSA's up by a morale stage and a half. CSA could probably just drop Union down to last stand just on tickets alone.
Alright, looks like TKO is going to get charged out there.
So,
But 8th Connecticut's coming in, and 6th Arkansas as well.
yeah,
We'll see how that plays out.
You also got some CSA heading back to that C point now to get that C point back. 7th LA is going that way right now.
Yeah, Union's getting enveloped right now, and they're kind of clumping up around the flag, which is exactly what you don't want to do. And 8th Connecticut is just going to take advantage of that and just probably wipe them out right here.
Oh, I just realized it's actually kind of neat seeing the snake fence completely destroyed just with that RT destruction.
Definitely changes the battlefield quite a bit, because now you can just easily charge point.
Destructible
But
win.
looks like 8th Connecticut is going to stall here, not really charge them out. Oh, no, they charged. But yeah, Union's on the back foot, just retreating right now. That's the tough thing about playing B is you gotta spread out so you don't get pincered like that. And they were getting hit from all sides.
I mean, CSA just kind of came back with numbers and kind of overwhelmed the Union. Union wasn't, yeah, as you just said, wasn't really expecting a pincher. They weren't looking in the corn.
One thing I noticed is that CSA plays very fluidly. They kind of bounce off of each other. Like, if they see something happen, they go reinforce. When they see, they don't stall. They go in. They're very quick. And I gotta say, Union hasn't really done that too much, except, you know, kind of ball together and wipe individual units, which is great. But they've been definitely a lot more rigid, I would say, with their game here.
So CSA is going to get a flagpole advantage again, and Union continuing to lose tickets. CSA almost in the taking losses, which I guess is a little victory, but Union's, in the short time we have between this point and the next round, Union's going to have to cook something up to do well, because if they continue how they're doing this round with next round, it is going to be rough. But NYV's pushing up the center of the map here. 8th Connecticut is walking right by him. They just don't see each other in the corner. Oh, Eric sees them and they turn around.
Oh, that was... Oh my god, it's like they're doing a circle. It's a circle. It's like a snake eating itself. Oh my gosh. That's funny.
The glories of corn and wood combat.
Yep. Everything's hectic.
And unsurprisingly, 8th Connecticut wins that.
Yeah, 8th Connecticut, yeah, they're gonna win it.
And
I mean, it's crazy that 65th and NYV were there, but it still wasn't enough to stop 8th Connecticut.
you need numbers. You need numbers.
Yep.
Numbers decide probably 90% of any given battle, for the most part.
Definitely.
Any individual encounter. That's probably a better way to put it.
I kind of don't like that tree area too, because it's a landmark of where you're probably going to be, and it's very easy to charge out. So I think putting your flag there is kind of a mistake. I've done it myself multiple times, where I just put my flag right next to that tree and they just charge it out.
See the Union guy just pick up the flag and next to that tree and got domed.
Yep.
So CSA is playing this smart. You know, they have a flag lead. They're dealing a ticket loss. They're up by a lot. There's no need for them to play aggressive, and so they're not playing aggressive. I like it a lot. I mean, they're still sending a small group to decap the 8 point. Some 14th Tennessee guys are over there. 5 of them near the 8 point, but there's no reason why CSA should lose at this point.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I just don't see Union making a grand comeback, especially at halfway to breaking to last stand.
If Union captures all the points, that'd be really funny.
I mean, it would be funny, but like at the same time, that would be the biggest throw in CSA history.
That would be the case.
So, I mean, CSA were to, you know, just unanimously, like, commit suicide, you know, kind of open up. But I don't know if they want to do that tactically.
So, Midwest Brigade charged the B point. They got slaughtered. 10th U.S. trying to reinforce. Some of them went to Midwest. The other few charged 8th Connecticut. I don't know if they saw them or not, but 8th Connecticut, yet another one charge. Have they even lost a charge this round? I mean, they got beat back at the A point when they were trying to decap and cap it, but they didn't die. So CSA almost on the taking losses. Union almost in the last stand. Yeah, this is so Jover.
It's so Jover. Unbelievably Jover.
You're right. You run over to the southeast.
At this point, I mean, I don't even know what to say. It's just like you got snowballed just so hard. That's why I'm telling you, Conquest is like a snowball mode. If you start losing, you really start losing.
Wonderful weather we're having.
Definitely, no, wonderful weather we're having. Absolutely.
In this new War Rights weather update, the thing everyone needed and wanted.
Absolutely.
So, Union's about to fall in the last stand. At that point, if they die, they don't come back. So, flags don't really matter for CSA at that point, unless Union were to capture more flags, then CSA would continue to
What
lose
is
tickets.
NYV doing on the right side here? Are they running out of bounce? Oh no, they're going for Artie.
Yeah.
Alrighty then.
But yeah, once Union hits last stand, if CSA to win at that point, CSA just needs to wipe the Union because last stand means you can't get any respawns at that point. If you were dead when you hit last stand, you'll spawn in at main, but so that team can get one full wave in. But yeah, you die, you can't come back. So CSA's either got to wipe the whole Union team or fully capture all 3 points.
Is Parker not going to wipe out the Artie?
He wants Gomez.
What's the game plan?
He might just be going for C.
They're going after one guy. What is going on? I think Artie's might be able to get a shot on him. We'll see. Oh, yeah, they're lining it up. We'll see. Anything interesting going on? I mean...
Oh my god, CSA Artie's charging. Union hit last stand. They die, they don't come back.
Alright, well, CSA Artie is charging NYV. We'll see who wins.
I don't think Artie wins.
I do too.
Don't ever see this. NYV just does not care. Oh, that didn't
they're
kill.
just...
A knockdown.
Yep. Oh, Pickle's gonna die. RIP Pickle. Oh my god,
What's
NYV
that?
might actually get like kind of wiped here. We'll see. Artie just going in.
Well, NYV just went down on the next tier list that we're making. Unfortunate. Yeah.
F tier gets wiped by Artie.
I'm supposed to go to some Civil War battlefields in a couple weeks. I was thinking of maybe sending out another, poll for the 2025 list. We'll make some more fun drama.
Yeah, dude. One of the comments I saw on one of the videos of the tier list was, wow, this is bullying. I'm like, what? Bro, just turn off your computer. Like, it's, what? It's not cyberbullying.
It's that's a fun video. I think it's fun anyways, but obviously I don't necessarily have a stake in it. I was also gonna do the map ranking tier list. We've done that for like 3 years straight now, and it's cool kind of seeing how people's opinions of maps have changed over the past couple of years. I'm excited to see what people think of maps next time I do that poll.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, just I think the recent update to like the maps and stuff has really given CSA an edge for like most maps and stuff. I mean, like the East Woods and like Miller's Cornfield stuff is like really nice, and there are certain Union maps like River Crossing that got buffed for some reason.
Have you played East Woods since the update?
East Woods? Yeah. So I I've played like one pub match, and that didn't really go that well because it was like low pop officers. I think the new meta though that we've kind of been trying out is trying to get like box them in on that snake fence. And play the woods on the left side. Box them in. Don't let them like outflank you on the left side. Don't let them take the woods. And just box them in on that snake fence. That's kind of what the meta's been going towards. But a lot of like old heads are still kind of like playing more the point or like the strongholds on that map, which is still pretty good. I mean, it's just not very much like a winning strategy because you're not really defending the points. If you're playing the strongholds and if you're defending the point, you're just going to get ripped apart by buck and ball and woods.
Right.
So,
or whatever they're wearing.
Yeah, I don't know if 12% ticket boost for the Union was enough. I think it should have been more. Because, I mean, what? CSAs, you just said, they've got buck and ball. Union has a special company which doesn't have pistols, the 42nd Pennsylvania. And they suck at melee when you're fighting in the woods. And then the rest of the Union team has to spawn on 2 flags. It's
well, in high pop you can just get outspawned because you only got 3 companies,
Yep.
so they can just outspawn you and just win that way.
Yeah. Intrigued to how the devs got their data for adjusting that. Which, if they said in the new company tour, right, they're gonna keep track of every World Rights match played, and maybe they have that done. They just haven't released it yet, but. I feel like it could be hard to balance some of these maps.
It's probably like all the
data.
low pop matches that they're looking at.
Yep. Yep.
All the low pop matches
Which would maybe
where like
explain,
anything goes.
Maybe explain why the devs gave more Union tickets on Rivers Crossing and CSA more tickets on Garland Stand, which were both terrible changes.
River Crossing is actually kind of easy to win on low pop if you're CSA. I've done it multiple times where you just bring the flag across on the bridge and just charge the left side and kind of get established there. You can win on low pop.
Well, that
Decently
change they had
easy.
would make
I mean,
sense.
depends on the officers. Depends on the officers. That's for sure.
That's the hard thing too. Is balancing this game is no easy task because 50 plot is completely different than 300 to 400 players. Completely different. It's so hard to balance a mode based on that. And maybe, I don't know if you change the attacker imbalance based on server pop, that would be weird. But it's really hard to balance, and the more they increase the server pop, it's just going to become more and more harder to balance these maps.
Definitely, yeah.
So, and it kind of sucks too, because as most of the time, you only see a certain map once or twice a week. And you can't really get a good data set on if a map needs to be balanced one way or another. If only this game had like 5 400-man servers consistently.
I've kind of thought about this a little bit, and I think the way to fix balancing is just to leave it up to the like players, like the servers and stuff like that. Like decide like let the events and stuff like that, you know, customize, you know, the server to where, you know, they decide, you know, how many tickets each side gets. Because I think that's the only way you really balance the game. I think the developers, you know, have tried and just failed at it, and I think you leave it up to the maybe the pub officer Discord or different servers and stuff to let them balance it out how they see fit.
Yeah, imagine a server owner though just making their side overpowered. Could happen. That'd be a good idea though. It's just the problem is you might get inconsistent experiences each time, and I guess over the time the community, or at least the people that play the same events with each other, would come up with a idea of what's good and consistently play that ticket balance across all the events.
I think it would be, yeah, I think it'd be more like of a democracy system of balance, and kind of like really have a oh shoot, game's ended.
You're fine.
Interesting game. Clearly,
that's why we talked about that.
Good start for Union, but CSA kind of just picked it back up, and Union fumbled the bag. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, Union had a great start. They fumbled, as Cole just said. Yeah, really good job from CSA. We'll see you all shortly for round 2. And here we are with the start of our second round on Wheatfields. I feel like when I watch Conquest, I see this map a large portion of the time. Anyways, server pop is 298, almost at 300. CSA up by 4 right now. Artillery-wise, Union has 14, CSA has 15. So our infantry in balance right now is 3 in favor of the CSA side. Colt, how do you think each side should play this map? Oh, yeah, sorry. One brief thing. Again, right, skirmishers can move out at 45. They can start capturing points at 42. That's why B and A are already captured. They cancel each other out, so no one's losing tickets to flag loss. Infantry moves out at 42 at the quick time and can move out at double quick and sprint at the 40 mark. Anyways, sorry, Colt, in your opinion, how does each side want to play this map?
Well, from a Union perspective, definitely I would play A and B. I maybe send a wave over to C if it's not working at B, if they just kind of hold it too tightly. But B and A, you can defend very easily. So that's how I would play this map personally. But sending units over to, C also works. It's a lot harder to defend A and C, and B is kind of the middle ground that is awkward to defend because you're on a downhill and Artie's shooting at you. So, we'll see how Union plays this. Looks like they're going for C right now, which I think, is a decent play. It's just a matter of whether you can defend A or not. And we're seeing a lot of fighting over on the right side. TKO, A and B, kind of full sending it. 8th Connecticut. Yeah, Union's just not going to be able to hold this. They don't have enough forces. So CSA is going to take A. So hopefully, Union gets some footing and takes C. But yeah, that's just CSA deathballing right there and pushing an objective. I think they did that really well. Good job by just death stacking it and pushing one objective.
And Union did that to the opposite side. They've taken the C point back, but they have not sent anyone to the B point. So CSA is going to have a flag advantage in a moment or so. On top of this, Union Artie's being charged out as well. So
if Union can get to B very quickly, you just defend B and C. I mean, that's a lot more advantageous because instead of fighting downhill, now you can kind of fight on the higher ground. And it looks like Union's doing that right now, which CSA needs to take full advantage of taking A and push B right away, but it doesn't look like they're going to defend it. 8th Connecticut is disabling those guns, which I think is important, but also you got about, let's say, 30 guys over here, and not charging them out right now. I think you got to get aggressive here, push the RD quickly, leave some reserves, and then go back to B, because B's about to get taken and overwhelmed by Union right now.
yeah, it's surprising to see CSA sit back with their whole team in A. I get you wanted to defend it, but also this is a very wide open map. They should be able to see that there's not a whole lot of Union near them. Maybe they're trying to stick together as a team, which can make sense. You can afford to be down a flag for a certain amount of time. That is true, but
I mean, just the amount of guys 8th Connecticut is dedicating to the RD is just not justifiable, in my opinion. Yep. I mean, you got so many guys that could be, charging these guys out, taking the RD, leaving some reserves, and then going to B. It's just, I don't agree with the strategy, because now B's going to get decapped. Now you're going to be down a flag.
TKO is going to try, though, for CSA at the B point.
Yeah, you're fighting uphill, so it's going to be rough for TKO. We'll see how it goes.
They're completely outnumbered as well. I mean, Union, for the most part, has moved most of their team down to the B point, which is a smart play. Looks like you have some more NYV guys shifting down, but 10th US, some NYV also sitting up at C with a down.
ANV is going to charge out the stone wall, but, I mean, the problem is you're charging out an open field, and you're just going to get slaughtered, which is what is happening right now to TKO and ANV.
And Davis is countercharging.
If anything, I think you kind of want to wrap around them through the corn and use the corn as concealment to push down on them, but unfortunately CSA is just going to get wiped in the open and probably lose A if they're not careful. So we'll see how it goes. But there's a unit on C right now, NYV. That's a lot of guys dedicated to C, but I think it's justified as to not lose it for any reason. 8th Connecticut is finally going to come in, but they kind of just charge it across an open field. I don't really agree with this decision. I think you kind of want to go from the left side to the right and come down on them using the downhill advantage.
So 10th US is there at least by 8th Connecticut. 8th Connecticut got a, somewhat of a sizable force into the corn despite going through the open. 7th LA, 7th SC are now charging the point.
Yeah, MWB needed to countercharge them out. I don't know why they didn't, but Maryland is forced to pull back. 8th Connecticut is kind of just surrounded now. We'll see if they punch out and go for C or something like that, but I don't really see this as a sustainable position right now. But we'll see what happens.
B now. They also got Union up from their spawn, trying to flank downward.
I'm going to make a prediction right now, but 8th Connecticut, when Union goes for A, right, is going to charge out the remaining forces on B, and then potentially maybe take it. We'll see.
We'll see.
They could also go for C right now. C is pretty open. There's only NYV defending it. But I don't know if they know that, you know. It'd be tough to know how many companies are in an area.
So.
Alright, so it looks like 8th Connecticut is coming in from behind.
Oh my goodness, they do it again.
Yep, they're going to take out that flag, which is very important. Union needs to reinforce this and recognize what's going on behind. Especially MWB, you just have so many numbers right there. You got to help them out, relieve them. But it looks like 8th Connecticut is going to wipe 1st Maryland, maybe. NYV is coming in for the relief, though. I think NYV is going to stop them here and potentially wipe 8th Connecticut. MWB is pushing out AIN and 7th South Carolina right now, but we'll see if that works.
And they're preventing that cap, at least, which is good. No one's losing any tickets to that.
Definitely, and there's a flag down right there, too. That's huge. Got to camp that flag. Oh, you don't let him get it. Why is that guy... Are you seeing that?
Yeah.
Hundo, what are you doing, buddy?
That's the best place to do it.
Run, Hundo! Oh, my God!
You got the flag.
Oh my! 8th Connecticut coming in from behind MWB. NYV didn't wipe them. Oh no! I think 8th Connecticut just turned the tide. I mean, great flank by Connecticut coming in from MWB. MWB needed to reinforce 1st Maryland sooner. And 8th Connecticut takes B pretty handily. Great job by 8th Connecticut, kind of staying in the corn, kind of waiting patiently, and taking one group, then another. So, good job on them.
So, CSA have now won on the B point. Union, it looks like there was a little decap shenanigans at C. 20th Georgia was over there with that. They're being reinforced by 6th Arkansas. So CSA is going to have a 2-point advantage. And this round is almost seems like a continuation of our previous round here where CSA just...
Great Union start. It's just like... CSA just somehow comes back and wins it. And I got really compliment 8th Connecticut from what I've seen. Really doing a lot of the heavy lifting. And... they've just been doing a lot of good work. I mean, I think MWB could have done a better job of reinforcing 1st Maryland, but 8th Connecticut seized the opportunity, wipe 1st Maryland, and then fended off NYB, and then wiped MWB on point.
Yeah, when you're the Bs,
I've been doing a really good job.
When you're the bigger groups, you got to pull the weight. 8th Connecticut is doing exactly that tonight, so really well done on their part. And Union, I mean, they're just... We're just gonna roll the tape from last round, and it's the same thing. I've tempted to do that at one point, maybe for an April Fool's Day, just re-upload a previous round on the same map. just play it out. Rounds for the most part, well, maybe more in skirmish, but rounds go the
You should overlap
way.
it and just start roasting regiments. You should overlap. Like, you should change out the audio, and then just, like, start roasting the regiments for all their bad plays.
The true Battle Line Eagle tier list. What will
That'd
it
be
be?
great. April Fools.
So 6 Arkansas tries to poke at the C point. They get shot and immediately retreat. And CSA is just kind of sitting entrenched here on the A and B point. Don't really blame them. One Union flag is down on B. 8th Connecticut in the corn up to the southeast south from the B point. Just kind of, you know, hunkering down there. You have a lot of Union reforming around their artillery. Now starting to move out. 10th US is there with Midwest Brigade. And they're starting to move.
That's right. God bless it. Where's Muggins? There he is.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not seeing a whole lot of Union grouped up right now. I think they're going to kind of run into the same problem where they get snowballed. It's just really hard to regroup and organize a push. And CSA has done it really well, surprisingly. And Union, from last game's results, they just got snowballed. So we'll see if they bounce back. But
Union, if they want to do something, they got to collapse in as a team on one of the points. And I mean, it's set up for that. However, looking at the C point, 8th Connecticut is doing some maneuvering in the corn. A lot of the Union's moving away from C to the south. Meanwhile, at the B point, you got Midwest Brigade starting to push up alongside 10th West there. You do have CSA, 1st Ohio, TKO holding it back near the point, though.
1st Ohio is single-handedly going to fend off MWB. I believe in them.
Union's doing the similar thing on C that they did on B last round, where they just backed off the point. Like, here's the thing: 1st Maryland, they're just backing off, sitting away from the C point. You have NYV. It looks like they're starting to move towards the B point. It's like you're down a flag right now. Why are you sitting back? Sure, you need a group to defend the safe point, but at the same time, you got to be aggressive and try to get to the point. Like Midwest Brigade's charging on the B point right now.
I mean, you got to use every company you can to try and win back a point, and, you know, MWB's going to go alone here. I don't know how it's going to work. I mean, they've been doing decent on this push, but they're just not very grouped up right now.
NYV is pushing in to assist as well, alongside 11th
NYV,
on the point, and they should be able to take it.
If NYV comes in here, I think they'll be able to take B.
They got it.
I'm just wondering where 8th Connecticut is.
They're being charged in the corner right now by 1st Maryland.
Interesting. 1st Maryland and 8th Connecticut going at it.
So maybe we're starting to see CSA get a little greedy here. 8th Connecticut, obviously very far away from where the rest of their team was. Also to note, I mean, you have CSA defending A. Lastly, right as Midwest charged in, you might have been able to see it on the side of your screen, A and V charged up from B and charged out Union Arty. And so that left B very exposed. And so Union kind of picked the CSA apart as they were spread out. And
CSA can just take C right now. I just realized they can just take C.
And yeah, Union sent a lot.
I don't know why they're not taking C right now. They got 2 skirmish units right there.
3.
Come on, guys. 3, yeah. I mean, 6 Arkansas I think is going to decap, but it looks like it's too late. I mean, 10th. Well, no, 10th US isn't big enough to hold all that.
They're sitting back.
We'll see. We'll see. 1st Maryland might go in. We'll see. But yeah, they needed to go in before. Like, I don't know why they got 2 units just sitting on decapping.
Now they're starting to decap. Who's sitting back in the woods here, probing the C point? 1st Maryland.
CSA Northwest, boys.
Looks like they're just trying to pop up. They can't let CSA. 1st Maryland is just sitting and watching this decap happen at C.
Yeah,
shooting.
You have such a big regiment. Why not do something with it and charge these skirmishers out on C? I don't get the play here.
I mean, I guess they won't be losing tickets even if they lose the C point for a moment if it's decapped. But
I'm gonna look up ahead.
I mean, you need the 2. You need the 2 captured points in order to win tickets. So, I mean, you really can't afford to let them take 2 flags. I don't get the play. They're also letting B kind of get charged out, and This isn't pretty for Union right now. I think it's going to start snowballing.
I mean, CSA's almost at the whole morale stage at this point.
Union needs to win this charge in order to win the game. I mean, otherwise it's probably over, and it's not looking too great. CSA's just kind of pushing in. They got a lot of reserves.
They
I just
captured
don't see
C.
Union winning. Oh,
And
wow.
here
Okay.
come First Maryland now, and they get the wipe, but they waited way too long on that.
You could have wiped C and reinforced B. That's my complaint to First Maryland is you have such a big company. You gotta move around with it. You gotta be very fluid.
8th Connecticut
And,
circling around at C as well. Union's starting to win at B, though. I mean, you do have some CSA units sitting further back. First North Carolina Sharpshooters, 7th LA sitting in between A and B, just kind of shooting it out. TKO's kind of back as well. Maybe they're just protecting a flag. Anyways, 8th Connecticut did not go in at C. They're just sitting back with First
NYV's holding. NYV's holding. It's not over for B. I think they have a shot. I mean, TKO is holding as well, and CSA already's hitting him. But somehow NYV's just keeping up. Their flag is down, so someone needs to pick that up and get those spawns in. But I think NYV is going to end up winning here when saving Union's B point.
First North Carolina Sharpshooters and 7th LA are moving from that A point, going to the B point. Union takes C. 8th Connecticut's getting closer to Union lines, which it looks like 8th Connecticut's starting to shoot at the Union at C. Nice already shot from CSA.
Yeah,
And
great already
CSA's gonna
shot.
retake the B point with this reinforcements from 7th LA and 1st North Carolina. NYV back.
I mean, yeah, Union's just too far back right now. 11th PA, 65th. You know, they're just too far away from B to reinforce NYV. And NYV, while holding, doing a great hold on B and saving B, just not going to be able to.
First Maryland's running away from the C point, and 8th Connecticut dive bombs the point right away. Why? I wonder if they're just trying to reposition to get into better cover, but they kind of just gave them the point.
Yeah, you never want to give up the point if you don't have to, and you have a lot of cover over there. I just don't see the reason why.
And 20th Georgia now has some shots on that First Maryland group that reposition. CSA might cap all 3 points. They're about to get B. Union doesn't have anyone firmed up near B there, and 8th Connecticut's going to get C.
It just doesn't make sense how Union's just playing so far back. Like, First Maryland just pulls back, and it's like, why would you do that? And then MWB is playing way far back from point. It's just like, you're just gonna let them have it? There's a lot of defensive terrain over there. You have logs, you have rocks, you have a stone wall, you have concealment from the woods. It just doesn't make sense not to play forward on C. And it looks like they're gonna take B and then potentially C, and if they hold for a certain amount of time,
3 minutes.
they win it. Yep.
Assuming this is fully capped. I don't know why 8th Connecticut left the C point, but hey,
I
can't complain.
don't know why Union took that long to push in.
Oh my goodness, they stopped it at the last second.
They stopped it. Good job by
my
MWB the last second.
That's
but
like a half an inch.
Where are you running?
That's
yeah,
On the ground.
yeah. I mean, they needed to go in way sooner than that. It didn't need to be that close. CSA already good shot. Getting those tickets down. I just don't see Union coming back. They're down a full morale state. A and B are pretty secure. Yeah, I think CSA, all they have to do is defend B and A, and countercharge C, and they win.
Up here, boys. Up here. Get these motherfuckers.
Yeah, that's unfortunate for Union tonight.
Anyways,
I think 8th Connecticut has shown what like a big unit can do, and by playing fluidly and playing aggressively, you can do a lot of damage. So,
6 Arkansas.
good job on them tonight.
6 Arkansas, 20th Georgia for CSA. We're still around the C point. They're now being ran off, as well as Superior Union Forces there. And is this 8th Connecticut heading back to the point? 8th Connecticut left to go to the B point, and then is immediately going back to the C point. I don't know why they didn't hold there. They could have capped all 3 points. I like that they're moving a lot. They're not standing still. They're being unpredictable, but sometimes it calls for you to stand still and fight, and that was definitely the time. But they're getting back in at C.
Well, no one's perfect, Eagle,
That's
but
true. That's
yeah, I would agree with you on that. Just defend C. Like you have C, you have defensive terrain. Try and hold it as long as possible. Put up a lot of resistance. B's pretty solidly secure, so you know you can just pretty much. Oh, speaking of that, NYV got charged by TKO, and looks like TKO has lost the charge against NYV.
TKO keeps losing these charges, and it's absolutely great. They keep doing it. It's awesome. They have the tickets.
I love how they just do it though. Like they just send a suicide charge, and they're like, "Well, if we lose, oh well.
Yep.
But if we win, we wipe your unit, and you snowball even harder." So
yeah,
I love TKO for that. They played very similar to how we play in Eagle Brigade, and it's always fun to watch them.
Keep moving, A&B.
So 20 minutes left. CSA is almost up 2 morale stages at this point. My goodness.
Yeah. No. 8th Connecticut and 1st Ohio are just gonna box Union in here. I mean, there's not really a breakout point, at least from what I can see, for Union to take the initiative and win the game. I don't know if you see one, but they're pretty boxed in right now.
If the CSA all F9 and die over and over again, there could be a window.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
Mass suicide. Drink the Kool-Aid, guys.
Of course.
I think the Union should just mass propaganda and be like, press F9 to win. Press F9 to win. Just start screaming that. Screaming that to CSA.
Hey, it'll get a new person. Yeah. I remember, I don't know if I was around, but there used to be a crash bush where if you ran into it, your game would crash. And so older IVB people would get puppies to just, newer level people to just run into it and crash. There's videos of it. Iconic.
Oh my god.
So you have Union charging out from the C point very sporadically at 8th Connecticut. They get wiped. Further to the south, though, you have 1st Maryland just sitting back here. I mean, it's...
Yeah.
This has been the headline for tonight, is just CSA keeps moving around. They're unpredictable. Highlight 8th Connecticut, of course. And then the Union's just playing ultra-conservative back away from the point. It's... You can't do that in Conquest.
I mean, 1st Maryland, they have such a big group. And, they've made, like, pretty good plays, tonight. It's just... The bad plays really outweigh it. Because, you have such a big group, you got to use it. They're just not swinging in. And, maybe you lose a fight, maybe you lose a flag, but at least you're doing something to try and win the game.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like Union's almost kind of given up at this point. I will note, for the campaign, the only casualties that count are casualties from kills. Tickets lost from flags do not affect tokens. At least, that's how it was last season. I don't know if they changed it. Someone correct me if that's the case in the comments. But we have charging in the corn, NYV, 10th US, Midwest. Actually, NYV's not here, but they're charging into 8th Connecticut in the corn.
Yeah, it looks like 1st Maryland is finally going to go in, but I think it's too late for the match.
Yeah.
Down morale and a half, and the only way to win is take B and A, but you're lucky if you get B.
Oh my, 8th Connecticut is still alive and well. Union actually, 1st Maryland just walked right through 8th Connecticut. They did not bother with them going for the B point. This is what you need to done sooner.
They need, yeah. Oh boy, looks like one of the flags went down for MWB. That's unfortunate. CSA just reinforced each other.
All right, I'm going to start replaying the audio at the end of the last round. Same exact game.
That's funny.
Oh, wow.
And 1st Maryland...
They're still decapping. What are they doing? Someone decap.
Maybe this is a strategy. Maybe.
Oh, I didn't think of that.
Maybe you just don't decap. Maybe you just wait and see.
We don't hear what the officers are saying. You never know.
Yeah.
So TSA is kind of threatening C. You do have a couple guys in the corn. It's PA and V charging down. Cloud at the helm with his 4 guys there. But yeah, this is oh my goodness, 8th Connecticut's charging out Union already, which again probably doesn't matter. But First Maryland gets that decap finally. It's a 2 morale stage difference, and right as they decap TKO, are we surprised, charging in again with some A and V guys and some LA. And First Maryland again just backed off the point. They're not on top of it.
Yeah.
It hasn't made, I mean, obviously when you're playing a match, especially when you can't communicate with your whole team in an instant, trying to change the whole game plan in a second can be very difficult. So hopefully, at least going into next week when we watch this again, assuming we have the same teams, which I would assume so if it's a campaign, because generally the same sides play with each other. But hopefully some adjustments can be made.
Eagle, just remember, it's not Jover until it's Jover.
That's true.
I ain't hear no bell.
It's funny, I go to a couple hockey games, and my team will be down like 5-0, and they'll start playing some like hype up music with a video, and then it's like there's one where they clip a bunch of like UFC wrestlers and stuff like that in a row, and one of them ends with "It's not over till it's over," and I'm like, okay, we're down 5-0. Come on. Yeah.
I love when you're like losing in a pub match, and you just got this like low level recruit. He's just like, it's not over. It's not over. We can still win. And you're down like 2 morale states on Cox push.
That's why balancing is so important in this game, because we don't see people playing certain maps, because if you know the result before you're going to play it, what's the point in playing it? It's bad, and that's why they need to remove contention from the game, because that's just that's a different day.
Contention is I've grown warm to it as a game mode. The only thing I don't like about it is the RNG. The RNG is like really bad.
The thing is too is even if it wasn't necessarily RNG, the problem is that for those of you who don't know contention, there's a bunch of flagpoles on the map like we have for Conquest. And one flagpole is chosen with RNG. It's random, and then everyone tries to capture the point. You capture it, hold it for 7 minutes. You then knock your opponent down a hole for morale stage. The problem is that first point's RNG. It's probably really biased towards one side. So the team that has the advantage just sits down there, gets set up, captures the point, and then the other team tries to go in and stop it. And obviously, the advantage team has the defensive position, and they're going to do well. But another big part about that game is when one team is about to capture a point, the other team obviously doesn't want to lose a whole morale stage, so they'll do a suicide last-second charge to try to get the point, lose completely, lose all their flags, and then when the next point gets chosen, even if it's advantage to their team, they're down all 4 flags, they have to completely reformat main, go get those flags, get to the next point, while the team who won the point just walks to the next point and caps it right away. It's a very snowbally mode. I've seen a few rounds where contention is actually back and forth, and those are awesome. But those are the exception and not the rule, unfortunately. So
yeah, most of the time when you play contention, you just get rolled over when you start losing. There are a couple matches where you lose the first point, due to RNG and stuff like that, and then you just play the second point, see how it goes, and if you win the second point, then you're back in the game. Then it's like a tie game, and then. If you win the third point, you're winning the game, right? And by the third point, usually the game is like breaking. So usually you win by third point.
It's first to 2, I say. Whoever wins 2 points first wins.
I've actually captured 2 points in a contention match and still lost because the first point was so bloody that it didn't matter, that we capped the next 2 points. We just ended up losing anyways.
Oh,
and it was
lost the first point? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Oh.
So you can lose just so badly because you lose so many tickets trying to cap the first one uphill.
Hold them, boys, hold them.
That even if you capture the point twice and do everything right, you can still lose.
So our round is slowly coming to a finish. CSA up by 2 morale stages over that. Union's slowly going to be windowed out and died here, but before the outro, after action report, Colt, you got any more thoughts as finishes out here?
Another kind of underwhelming game. I'm not gonna lie. It really felt like Union just got snowballed. And that's just the hard thing about not having voice chat and not having team chat is you really can't organize. You can't organize stuff, which is pretty realistic to the Civil War. But yeah, you end up getting snowballed, and that's never fun. So good job on CSA. Really playing really fluid. I think that's the difference between tonight is one side played very fluidly, adapted, played very aggressively and quick, and the other side just played the opposite of that. So I think the lesson tonight is play fluid, bounce off your teammates, and really do something. Do something to try and win. Don't play super passively and hope things change, because things don't change if you don't make them. So that's all I got to say for tonight. Yeah, just a rough map for 2 maps for Union.
Yep. CSA played a dang near perfect game. Union just played they were not playing Conquest at all. It seemed like the way they were playing. They were just sitting back. CSA, I mean, just doing exactly what they need to do. 8th Connecticut had the numbers, and they just bully balled their way around. 1st Maryland, they bring similar numbers, I'm pretty sure. They have to do something similar for their side if they want to win, because the large groups generally decide matches, and that was very clear tonight. So,
yep.
At this point, that gold timer's going to click the 0. Assuming Union doesn't take any of the points back, which they shouldn't. The only real resistance Union has is at the A point. So this is a counterattack. CSA is dealing 3 flagpoles worth, but since Union is in last stand already, it's not like they're being dealt any ticket loss. CSA captures a point or neutralizes 2, the counterattack will end. They only have 3 minutes to do that, though, and they have to finish one of those 2 objectives by time the gold timer hits 0. It's not like there's an overtime in counterattack if you're trying to finish one of those actions, but not really going to matter anyways. This last group's going to get wiped, and our round is going to be our early event, and weekend is going to be over with. So again, It's just a matter of waiting and talking until it gets over. Yeah, Colt.
Well, who's your MVPs tonight? What would you say?
8th Connecticut
regiments.
Yeah. Anyways,
8th Connecticut, definitely.
With that all being said, thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. If you want to support the channel more, go beneath the video and hit the join button. By doing so, you can get a live stream of all the broadcasts we do. You can advertise your regiment in the bottom of our videos and get an additional broadcast per week. If you live streamed your perspective or recorded it and uploaded to a video, your perspective of the match, please message me the link on Discord or put it in the comment section. I'll put that video link in the pinned comment on the video. I appreciate you all. Could not do this without you. We got other stuff like Discord and our clips channel in the description as well. Regardless, we'll see you in the next one. Have a wonderful rest of your night.